Sumeet Bagadia, Associate Director at Choice Broking, now joins us. Sumit, good afternoon. Let's start with some names first. What's your view as far as Lupin is concerned? The day's high is about 1720. It's currently around the 1600 mark, down 6% on back of results. What do you make of this number? 92 rupees down for Lupin now.
Suddenly we have seen a fall in Lupin. I think, overall it was looking good on charts, but after the results, the stock has come down and it has given a drastic fall. I think it has broken the immediate support of 1640, 1650 levels, and now the stock is trading near 1600. I think immediately there is a possibility, if the sell-off continues, we may see downfall till 1550 levels also. So I think it's better to avoid the long position at present levels, and if anyone who has taken a short position, then they can hold on their positions for the immediate target of 1550, 1540 levels. Stock has broken the support, so possibility of 1550 is high.
Right. How would you look at some of the other pharma names? Will other pharma names follow? Or, something like a Dr. Reddy's has fallen. Now we have seen Lupin fallen. So even the large cap space, you may see some correction coming in.
Yes, absolutely, Pankaj. We have seen a fall in most of the pharma stocks. If you talk of Wockhardt, if you talk of Dr. Reddy, now we have seen Lupin. Cadila also, earlier we had seen a fall, but from the 350 levels we have seen recovery. So most of the pharma space are very volatile. Stocks are very volatile and they are moving in a range. I think at present it's better to avoid the position in Vogue Pharma, Lupin, and as far as Dr. Reddy is concerned, because we see there is a possibility that again there can be some more correction in the counters, and in Dr. Reddy there is a possibility that from the levels of 3030, 40, a small correction in short term is possible, in which it can move down to 2900 or 2850 levels. So it's better to avoid the long positions at present levels.
Right. As far as Exide is concerned, there was a block deal that happened today. After that, the name is up around 3% odd. Any view on Exide around 180?
Yes, absolutely. The stock has given a very good upside move from the lower levels of 172. I think the stock will move in a range. That means till the time upside 185 is not taken away and on downside 170 is not taken away, stock will move in a range. Anytime rise in prices till 183, 184 level should be used as selling opportunity or profit booking. And if anytime there is a dip in prices till 172 levels, then that should be used as a buying opportunity. I think for next couple of days, that means for next 4 to 5 days, the stock will move in a range of 15 rupees, 170 to 185. So one should play in this range.
Right. As far as some of the other names are concerned, say from the mid-cap space, I'll just throw up some names and, you can probably tell your view. What's the view as far as, something like a Fortis Healthcare is concerned? 3% higher numbers came out a few days back. We saw we heard the management, they are demerging their business. Do you think it can break the earlier highs of 200?
Pankaj, I think the stock will face resistance at around 200 levels. A fresh long should not be initiated at these levels, as the stock always faces resistance at around 185, 190 or sometimes at 195, 200 levels. Now this time it has broken the resistance of 190 and it's able to sustain above these levels, but I don't think so that it would be easy for Fortis to break 200 levels. So for initiating a fresh long position, I think one should wait. If we get a clear confirmation above 200, then only one should go for fresh buying. Otherwise, it's better to avoid the stock, because if the stock takes this resistance and again gives some correction from present levels, then there is a possibility that we might again see levels of around 180 or 175. So my recommendation would be, it's better to avoid the long position at present levels. If anyone wants to initiate a long, then that should be strictly taken only above 200 levels. And if there is a dip in prices till 175, 180, then those would be the levels to initiate a long position. Present levels are levels where one should avoid the positions.
How would you look at Z Entertainment? There are talks that they may sell their sports business, which is currently a loss making, which could be a huge positive if it actually happens. It's up around 3%, 2.5% right now. Sorry.
Yes, I think the stock is reacting on the news itself, and if we see the move of Z Entertainment in last 3 to 4 days, the stock has given correction from the levels of 505 till 480 levels, and in last 2 days the stock has recovered the correction, the whole correction, and now it's trading near lifetime high, in fact newer lifetime high levels. I think from present levels now it seems that the stock has given a breakout. We have not seen much volumes compared to previous days, so we should wait for closing above 510. If a closing above 510 is seen, then there is a possibility that we might see extended rally in the counter till 530, 540 levels. So overall, selling should be avoided. Weakness in the counter can be seen only if the counter is able to break the levels of 490 or 495. To be very precise, 495. Till that time 495 is not taken away and a closing above 510 is required, one can initiate long for the targets of 530, 540.
Right. Would you look to add at 511 or when it gets closer to 500? It's very easy to get a gap down opening. It's a large cap names. You may see a 5-10 rupee decline coming in any time.
Yes, absolutely. See, those who are having a position in the counter, they should maintain with a trailing stop loss of 495. Anyone who wants to initiate a fresh long position, then a closing above 510 is required. That means I think if in next 2 to 3 minutes, we can see closing above 510. So one can add fresh positions in the counter for the targets of 530, 540 levels. So at 20 to 30 rupees upside move can be seen in this week itself.
Right. If you look at, some of the other names, may not be in the FNO space as well. Havells is around 415. How would you look at it? It's had a stellar run from the lows.
Havells is a good counter. It's there in F&O also. And I think from present levels, the counter is headed for...
Sumit, I think we just missed the levels. Can you just repeat the view?
Havells is trading at 414 levels, and from here we can see a move of 10% from the present levels. That means 440, 450 can be seen. So I think the counter is strong and one can initiate fresh long position at CMP also. Those who have taken positions at lower levels can hold on their positions with a trailing stop loss to be placed at 402 rupees on lower side. And a fresh longs can be initiated with a stop loss to be placed at 402 for the targets of 430, 440 levels.
Sumit, just stay on with us, about a minute remaining for markets to close. It's a decent day, down about just 30 points. But the good thing is mid-cap, small-cap space, which continues to rally. And, that has been the highlight for the last 6-7 months. Idea on the back of results, 97 rupees, 6% decline. Tata Power down about up about 3.5%. Hindalco has had a good run so far, down 1% today. Axis Bank, 574, 4 rupees higher. ONGC 1.2% higher, 229. BOB up about 1 rupee. Lupin closing below the 1600 level mark. Adani Ports, we heard the management in the show. And BHEL down about 60 paisa or so. Tata Motors, a 0.25% decline. Tata Steel down about 3 to 4 rupees. Not much in terms of movement for Tata Steel. And Bharti Airtel down about 2 rupees. Infosys about 1 rupee higher. Power Grid down about 2% or so. Coal India 337. HDFC Limited, it's a stocks in news, down about 1.8%. Ambuja Cement 2.5% decline, 269. NTPC absolutely flat. Sun Pharma down about 1%. Bharti Infratel 3 rupees higher. Yes Bank down about 5 rupees. Z Entertainment 511, we just spoke about it. Aurobindo Pharma, maybe after Lupin declared numbers, Aurobindo also declined. Tech Mahindra 90 paisa on the lower side, so really no change. HCL Tech down about 0.007. L&T down about 0.5%, that's the closing bell. TCS down about up about 0.2. HDFC Bank down 0.33. HUL 0.5% higher. Cipla down close to about 0.2%. Tata Power 3.5% higher, 75.76 for Tata Power. 14 million shares traded for Tata Power. It was among the top gainers, followed by Z Entertainment 2.5% on the higher side. 511, 512 for Z Entertainment. Coal India up about 1.5%. 337 for Coal India. 3 million shares traded, looking in decently strong. Actually, one can say it did not fall, even though the market stayed. ONGC up about 1%, 228 for ONGC, about 2 to 3 rupees in terms of higher move coming in. Let's look at some of the losers as well. So if I look at the losers list from the Nifty pack and try and find out what was going down. Of course, Idea was the loser, Lupin was a loser. Both of them have declared numbers. Idea down 6%, Lupin down about 5.5%. Ambuja Cements down close to 2.5%. Grasim down about 2%. Eicher Motors down close to 2%. ACC, HDFC, Hindalco are some of the other top losers. From the mid-cap space, there was a lot to talk about, a lot of names that were buzzing around. So let's just pull up each one of them one by one. Delta Corp is up close to 4.5%, 125, 126 for Delta Corporation. Since the results day, this name has done very, very well. Jain Irrigation up 4%, 77, 78 for Jain Irrigation. Jammu and Kashmir Bank did well, 5% higher, 73, 74 for J&K Bank. NIIT Limited up close to 5%, 82 rupees for NIIT Limited. That's a name which did well today. Tourism Finance 5.8% higher, 49 rupees for Tourism Finance. Sundaram Fasteners was up about 12%, 216 for Sundaram Fasteners. Jubilant Life numbers came out during the 230 factor, 4% higher, 344 for Jubilant Foodworks. Everready Industries was up 5%. That's another name that did pretty well today. From the top 200 names or from the Nifty 200, Jubilant Life, TTK Prestige was a name that we have not highlighted. It's up 4% towards the close. Indian Bank did well, up about 3.4%. NHPC up 2.8%. SRF is actually quite interesting. So SRF was up 8% in the morning. It's up about just 3% as we are closing. So almost 7% of the day's highest point. REC 2.6% higher. Exide was up 2.5%. Havells, Fortis, Z, Piramal, and the list just goes on and on. Sumeet Bagadia is still with us. Sumit, what's your view on REC, PFC? Do you think these names will continue to do well?
Yes, Pankaj, absolutely. The counters are looking good on charts. And if you talk about REC, the stock has given breakout. The only factor is that it has small resistance at around 230 levels. So closing about 230 is required for one day, and then we will see the counter is headed for 250 to 60 levels. I think those who have taken positions at lower levels, they can hold on their positions till the time 220 or to be very precise, 215 levels are not taken away on downside. The counter is strong, and any time a closing above 230 will take the counter to 250 to 60 levels. So I'm expecting the counter to touch levels of around 250 soon. I think it's strong. One can initiate long also, and existing positions can be held on with the trailing SL of 215 rupees.
Right. For both REC, PFC?
Well, as far as PFC is concerned, yes, PFC also has given a very good upside move from the lower levels, and now in last couple of days we have seen that the stock has been consolidating around 224 to 225 levels. I think in last 10 days we have seen that the stock has given a range bound movement, and it has given a move in the range of almost 10 to 12 rupees. That means 220, 214 or 15 on lower side, and on higher side 225 to 26 rupees. I think a breakout about 226 is required for a convincing move till 250 levels. Fresh long should be initiated once when the counter is able to give, or once when the counter is able to break and give close about 226 levels. Then we can see that the counter will be headed for 240 to 50 levels. I think the overall counter is strong. So anyone who has taken position at lower levels, they can hold on their positions with the stop loss to be placed at 215 rupees on lower side.
Right. How would you look at Delta Corp? 4% higher, 4.6%.
Well, Delta Corp, the overall counter is very good, and the move which we have seen has been a tremendous move in the counter, because we have not seen the counter anytime sustaining above 100 levels. This time the counter has broken the levels of 100, and one side we have seen move till 125 levels. I think fresh long should be avoided at these levels, because the counter has already given a very good upside move, and we have already seen a 25% move in last 4 to 5 trading days. Any positions, anyone who has taken positions at levels of 100 or 110, they can hold on their positions with a trailing stop loss to be placed at 118 levels, but fresh long should be avoided. And on higher side, if 130 is taken away, then there is a possibility that we might see levels of around 145 also. So existing positions, people can hold on their existing positions with a stop loss to be placed at 118, but fresh long should be avoided at these levels.
How would you look at Jet Airways? 6% decline today, 5.5% rather to be precise.
I think the counter has given a breakdown today, and it has given a good correction from the higher levels of 585, 586 levels. Immediately the stock has support at around 548, 550 levels. If 550 is taken away, then there is a possibility that we might see further sell-off in the counter, in which it can move down till 520 or 500 levels. Immediate support for Jet Airways is at 550 levels. So if a breakdown below 550 with volumes will take the stock prices to 520 or 500 and 500 levels. So it's better to avoid the long positions for 1 or 2 days. We need to wait and watch and see whether the stock is able to sustain or take support at 550, or it manages to break the levels of 550. So 550 would be a level where traders need to watch. If the level is taken away, then the targets would be 520 and 500 levels.
Dish TV 95.96.
stock has already given a correction. One should avoid the counter for selling on sell side, and on downside there is a possibility that the stock should take some support at around 93 94 levels, and from there we can again see a rebound for the targets of 100 105. I think it's better to avoid the sell positions now because the stock has already given correction. Anytime dips in prices till 920 should be used as buying opportunity, with the stop loss to be placed at 88 for the targets of 100 105.
Right. Just a last word on Colgate Limited as well, or Colgate Palmolive rather.
Yes, Colgate Palmolive has given a good upside move in past couple of days, but today we have seen that the stock has given a correction from the levels of 1000, and it has given closing somewhere at around 970. I think the stock has major resistance at around 1000 levels. 1000 is a psychological level also, and earlier also we have seen that Colgate Palmolive has faced resistance at around 1000 1007 levels. Today also the stock has taken the same resistance, and from the levels of 1007 we have seen a small correction. I think fresh long in the counter should be taken only if the counter is able to break and give close above 1000. Till the time these levels are not taken away, fresh long should be avoided, and existing long positions, one can hold on the existing long positions, the trailing stop loss to be placed at 950. I think for next couple of days the stock will move in a range of 50 rupees, that means 950 on lower side to 1000 rupees on higher side.
Right. Sumit, thank you so much for taking out time for us. Hope you have a great day.